Planning a trip to Cordoba and wishing you had a friend with all the insights and best recs? You're in the right place. I'm a serial destination repeater who's visited Cordoba several times now, and honestly, it's one of those cities you just can't get tired of. So today, I'm showing you the best things to do in Cordoba, from the iconic Mezquita-Catedral and beautiful patios, the hidden gems, and the best sunset view at the very end. Starting off with the obvious, the Mezquita-Catedral. Because if you're visiting Cordoba, chances are this is a big reason why. Known as the Mosque Cathedral in English, this monument is exactly what it sounds like. It's one of the most important monuments in all of Spain and honestly, one of the most mind-blowing. The Mezquita-Catedral's history goes back as far as the 5th and 6th century when it was first a Visigoth basilica. It then became a mosque in the late 8th century, expanding in size up until the 10th century, during which it was one of the largest mosques in the world. When the Catholic monarchs reconquered Cordoba, they kept the mosque but built a Renaissance cathedral nave right inside of it, creating this unique blend of architectural styles. The mosque cathedral also has a beautiful courtyard, the Patio de los Naranjos, and the bell tower. Similarly to the mosque, the bell tower was originally a minaret, and not just any minaret. Its design would later inspire the famous Tower of Sevilla, La Giralda, and consequently the minaret in Marrakech. When you reach the top, you'll get to enjoy beautiful views over Cordoba and the Mezquita-Catedral. All the tickets are timed, and it's usually recommended to visit the bell tower first and then the mosque cathedral. Make sure to read all my tips and things to know about the Mezquita-Catedral. Link is in the description. Welcome to the heart of Cordoba, the Historic Center. Listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Historic Center is where you'll find most of the city's main attractions, all within walking distance, including the Mezquita-Catedral, the Jewish Quarter, traditional patios, and beyond. This honestly speaks to one of my favorite aspects of Cordoba, how compact it is as a city. You take just a few steps and you're already in front of another historic wonder or beautiful corner. No matter how much time you're spending in Cordoba, make sure to leave some time to simply wander around the historic center freely and with no plan. Personally, this is the best way to soak in the true essence of Cordoba. Welcome to Cordoba's most famous little street, Calleja de las Flores, the Flower Alley. The street is famous for its blue flower pots that line up on the whitewashed walls. To be honest, this little alley is more of a touristy activity than anything else. Still cute though. Absolutely bonkers. I've never seen this street as busy as it is right now. This street can get very crowded, especially if it's peak tourism season. So I strongly recommend visiting either in the early morning or during off-season. La Judería, Cordoba's Jewish quarter, is intertwined with the historic center and is easily one of the prettiest parts of the city. To be honest though, I never know where this quarter stops and how much of the historic center is considered the Judería. I guess we'll never know. Or if you do, let me know in the comments. Hidden inside La Judería is the Córdoba Synagogue, one of the only surviving medieval synagogues left in all of Spain and the only one in Andalusia. By medieval synagogues, I refer to any synagogue built before 1492. It's very small, but historically it's very important and worth stopping by while you're wandering the neighborhood. Something I really like is that they have these little posters that give you more information about the synagogue and what you're seeing. It's free to enter and a visit can easily last less than 10 minutes or longer depending on how much you are admiring and reading. Right next to the synagogue are two little hidden gems that I'm pretty sure most people walk straight past. It's Casa Andalusí and Casa de Alquimia. Casa Andalusí is this beautiful home museum that was designed to transport you back to the Al-Andalus times. It has these beautiful traditional courtyards, historic books, scents, this very peaceful music, and all the historic details that come with it. Inside, you'll also find a small paper museum, a basement from the mid-6th century, and the cutest resident ever, a turtle. Casa dell'Alquimia is this really quirky small museum dedicated to alchemy, which I was really excited to visit because I am obsessed with The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. If you love hidden gems and unusual little museums, these are really fun stops. You can visit just one of them, or you can book a ticket for both of them. It's about €8 or €4 each, and a visit for the two of them can easily be 1 hour and a half or less. One of the best ways to experience Cordoba is through its incredible cuisine. Some dishes you really need to try here are the salmorejo cordobés, the flamenquín cordobés, rabo de toro, and the pastel cordobés. And if you're a gluten-free girly like me, I cannot recommend enough the Casa El Pisto Tavern. It's 100% gluten-free. It's a tavern-style restaurant and my absolute favorite in all of Cordoba. Also, on a really positive note, this restaurant is really loved by locals. For the pastel cordobés, make sure to go to Sana Locura, which is my absolute favorite 100% gluten-free bakery in Cordoba. Here you'll get to try all sorts of baked goods, the most incredible bread, and all the pastries you can think of, including the pastel cordobés. Along with the mezquita, the patios are one of the most iconic things about Cordoba. The culture and tradition of patios dates back to the Moorish times when homes were designed around interior patios to help keep cool during Andalusian summers. Today, locals still take incredible care of their patios, and every May, many private patios open to the public to compete for the famous Festival de los Patios de Córdoba, which is actually recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage. Even outside the festival, you can still visit several incredible patios around the San Basilio neighborhood, most of which are prize winners, and some have been competing for over 100 years. Technically speaking, most patios are free to visit, but you are highly encouraged to leave a small donation to support the families who maintain them. Another major landmark in Córdoba is the Alcázar de los Reyes Cristianos. Throughout history, this building has played many different roles, including being a royal residence, military headquarters, and was even connected to the Spanish Inquisition. But honestly, the main reason people visit today is for the beautiful gardens, where you'll find reflecting pools, fountains, art installations, orange trees, and beyond. As a quick PSA, because I have unfortunately seen half-eaten and half-spit out oranges, please, I beg of you, do not try to eat the oranges that you find on the orange trees of Cordoba. The oranges are not going to taste nice. Cordoba is really famous for its connection to the Andalusian horse, so if you have extra time, attending an equestrian show is one of the most unique cultural experiences you can have in Cordoba. These horses are so beautiful and so elegant, and in a traditional performance, you can expect music, some traditional outfits, and even flamenco-inspired elements. I got to take a little sneak peek at a rehearsal, and I genuinely could not stop smiling. Make sure to also take a peek at the 17th century royal stalls, which is right where the show happens. As the day starts slowing down, this is where you need to go. The Puente Romano, aka the Roman Bridge. Originally dating back to the 1st century BC, this bridge crosses the beautiful Guadalquivir River and gives you some of the best and most iconic views over Cordoba and the Mosque Cathedral. As you walk across this bridge, there's some historic elements to look out for, including the old watermill Molino de la Albolafia. Puente Romano has two beautiful monuments at its two ends. It has Puerta del Puente and the Calahorra Tower. As you make your way to the Puente Romano from the historic center, you will find Puerta del Puente, which is this beautiful historic door that you can climb for free, depending on the time, for panoramic views over the bridge and the historic center. Then on the opposite end of the Puente Romano is the beautiful Calahorra Tower, which is the oldest defensive tower of Cordoba. Alright, this one quickly became my absolute favorite way to end a day in Cordoba. What you're gonna do is cross the Roman bridge, walk past Calahorra Tower, and continue toward the little park that sits right next to the tower base. From here, you will get the most beautiful sunset views over the Mezquita-Catedral, the Puente Romano, and the historic center as it glows in the beautiful evening light. Coming here, you'll see that it's one of those moments where Cordoba just feels extra unreal. And if you've made it this far in the video, you now know exactly why I keep coming back to Cordoba. Let me know in the comments which of these things you're most excited to do in Cordoba. And for more inspiration, practical tips, and all my complete Cordoba guides, everything is linked in the description below. See you on the next adventure. Bye!